Hi, this is Jack. Okay, now let's take this one step further. Let's look at sex and meditation. Okay, so what is the New Age movement, the New Age experience of this world? It is human beings who've become delusioned of the entire God construct, the God concept, the God experience. So they went in a different direction of trying to search and seek self-experience, self in all aspects. Because, in terms of the delusioned experience of God being somewhere out there, they've now wanted to return to self in terms of seeking and searching for self. And in that seeking and searching, they went and created a different system. This system is called meditation. Okay, so have a look. What is meditation? What does meditation become? Human beings sitting in nature, by a waterfall, by a tree, sitting in the position, breathing, connecting to God knows what, God, the unified field, and mostly their guide. Okay, now, meditating, having the tree, the waterfall, the serenity, the peace, and then the guide. And now the beings meditate and connect to the guide. Now, what is this guide but another system development by the beings that have created meditation and went into the meditation experience to search and seek for themselves. And here is this guide communicating with them. Okay? Now the moment they connect to their guide, then they are at peace. Then they are serene. Then they have their orgasmic experience as they connect with their guide and communicate with their guide, because this guide tells them exactly what they want to hear. Tells them exactly who they are. You are God. You are important. You are the Lamb of God. You are the disciple of God. You are very important in this world. Knowledge, 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 information, information, information. And there you sit in this orgasmic experience while your guide system communicate with you. And in that moment of the entire meditative experience as you communicate with your guide, you have your orgasmic experience. But what is this guide but a self-created system through the first point of separation of seeking self? So of course this guide will tell you everything you want to hear. Oh, I'm able to relate to this guide. Oh yes, now I trust this guide, because this guide is telling me exactly what I am and what I experience precisely. Who am I not to trust this guide? I'm trusting this guide. So, have a look at this sexual experience right here that I'm explaining. The being walks this normal life, continuing only in meditation. Only in meditation comes the connection. The connection with the guide is the penetration. The experience with this guide and the communication and the information and knowledge being fed with, of course, the serenity and peace of the environment and the experience is where the orgasmic experience is coming from. But have a look. This is the human being actually fucking themselves, having sex with themselves. And what is that connection now to masturbation? What is the difference then to this experience than to human beings masturbating in this world? No difference. Why? Have a look. What are people doing when they masturbate? They use their hand, trying to get a grip on themselves, trying to handle themselves, trying to experience themselves, trying to find themselves, discover themselves, and believing that that connection being made with themselves as they take a handle on themselves and move themselves, fucking themselves, literally having sex with themselves, it brings that orgasmic experience, which is the cleansing of the system and the purification of the systems within them. What is meditation? The exact same thing. Human beings are fucking themselves when they're meditating and communicating with their self-created guide. Because, why? They're again trying to get a handle on themselves, a grip on themselves, trying to find themselves, trying to experience themselves. It is all about that yearning of self-experience and self-expression. And then the beings who masturbate and meditate can do nothing in this world. They just sit and they fuck with themselves, literally. They're not able to actually stand up and take responsibility and fully participate in this world in terms of standing up for all as one is equal, as this world and of this world, actually directing this world straight forward in absolute communication, practical application, as an experience of themselves. No! Both the beings who masturbate and meditate go to their secret, serene places alone to be with themselves and literally fuck themselves over completely. So, now meditation and masturbation are the 2 points that keep this entire system of consciousness existence stable. Why? Because they sit by themselves. They just fuck themselves. That's it. They have sex with themselves. The orgasmic experience with themselves, alone. Got nothing to do with this world. They don't participate in this world, do they? No. Apparently it's all about me alone here, just having this orgasmic experience by myself. Speaking to myself, this is another meditation person, speaking to myself, that connection being the orgasmic experience I have with me, connecting to the world and God knows what, nature, what not, in absolute separation. They don't walk in oneness in every single moment and every day. They're not peace. They're not oneness. They're not serenity. They don't walk it as them as an expression of who they are in every moment, do they? No. They go, and only when they meditate do they connect. Absolute separation. That's another separation system. So both people who masturbate and meditate are those that keep this entire consciousness existence stable. For all those other human beings who are having normal sexual experiences. The exact same manifestation, just in a different picture. Thank you very much. This is Jack.
Hi there, Andrea here. I've just watched Jack's video called Meditation and Sex, and I would like to share my experience within this point, because I used to do exactly what Jack is referring to in the interview. I separated myself for a very long time from the world, from the system, and I had this extensive fear of participating in the world, and I had this fear of people, fear of money, due to various experiences that I had as a child, losing my father when I was 11 and blaming that on money. And from that point on, I grew up becoming interested in the esoteric, in the New Age, and I found that I was becoming more inclined to focus on spirituality and things like meditation, to find that something special that I could participate in. And I did this for many, many years, and I can absolutely relate to what Jack is speaking about in this interview, because he is referring to that orgasmic experience that the person goes into when they go into their safe little meditation space, where you are sitting next to the waterfall and you've got the tree and the beautiful birds and the sunshine, and it's just you, and then you connect with your guide. And my guide I specifically designed exactly as Jack described. I designed my special guide to tell me exactly what I wanted to hear, and my guide specifically said to me that I am God's disciple. And he was basically telling me, my guide was supporting me. The being that was standing in as my guide at this point was supporting me to see what it is that I was doing. So he was taking me through all these experiences, but the fact is that in the moment I experienced it as being very real. And that's why I'm sharing this with you, because even though the being was aware of what he was doing, he was taking me through all the steps of what a guide would normally do with the person. And I did exactly those things. I had this point within me where I wanted somebody to tell me that I'm special. I wanted somebody to tell me that there is a spiritual purpose in my life that I should fulfill. And I wanted somebody to be kind to me and speak kind words and encouraging words. And also somebody to assist me to further separate myself from the world, to tell me, oh yes, bad things happen over there, and bad people do bad things, but you are different, and you are special, and you don't have to involve yourself in that, because you are, by nature, you've already transcended it in a spiritual sense, and therefore you don't have to go in there and do anything. You just have to sort of stand back and look and observe it and go, shame, look at what they're doing. You are higher than that. So I wanted every single person, in a way, wants to not have to face what it is that we are creating in this world as humanity. And people find different ways of escaping the experience that we are in. For some, it is Christianity. For some, it is Buddhism. For some, it is Satanism and Wiccanism and paganism. For some, it might be spirituality, or in my case, it was many years of Wiccanism, and then I turned to spirituality, and then I turned to things like esoteric healing. And so my point here is that I'm not targeting a specific belief system. I'm saying that a belief system by nature means that you are believing in something so that you don't have to remain in the physical. I mean, that's the whole point of believing. It is a mind reality within which you are participating in thought. Then you believe this mind reality you've created as everything that exists in your mind, and you believe that it is real. You believe that what you are participating in is real, and you will then go out and seek groups that you can participate in, or churches, or organizations that you can participate in. Myself, at some stage, I was really very desperate to start expanding within myself, within my spirituality. And my guide said, look, you should go to a spiritualist church and go, and when the medium is there giving her little performance or his little performance, go and see if you can connect with these people and see if they can help you to expand. Because I wanted to become a medium. And at that stage I was already, my guide could speak through me and all of this stuff, and we'd been practicing that, so I was really keen. So I went off to the spiritualist church in the town where I live, and the medium who was giving this, had this being come through him and give messages to all the people in the spiritualist church. This guide or being came through and said, that girl sitting in the back with the long hair, with whatever colored shirt on, your guide tells me to tell you he's very happy you're here and you're in the right place. Wow, so this is what I needed to hear. And I wanted to work with these people, but they said, okay, look, to develop your abilities you have to come and be part of the circle twice a week, and then we start with meditation groups and whatever. So I said, okay, and they said, okay, after the specific service there's going to be a meditation group, and we sat there and we meditated, and we did the whole picture a beautiful scenario, have your guide come to you and speak to you. And I didn't follow through on it because at that stage already my spiritualist ego was very extensive, to the point where I wanted it to just happen. I didn't want to do it through other people. I didn't want to have to develop through other people. I wanted to immediately get involved with the medium and participate with them in the circles with the people who knew everything and just go for it. And that's not the only experience I had around creating this fantastic idea that I'm this amazing being. I did it in other forms as well, where I was convinced at some stage in my life I was God's disciple and I was sent here to save humanity. And while I was busy doing that with my meditations and my only thinking about how I am and who I am and how I'm going to reach out to humanity, while I was busy doing that, everything was busy happening in the background. The physical reality was happening, and I wasn't actually participating. And I found that in every single spiritual thing that I've participated in, this goes for anything, and not just myself, but even that which I've observed in the world as spirituality, as religion. It is a bunch of people that get together and sit in this little building or in the space together, and you do your little thing. You do what is part of your religion. So you could meditate together, or you could heal, or you could talk, or you could sit in your church and have some dude stand in the front and read from a book. Wah, 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 wah. This is what God wants you to do. But either way, it is us absolutely separating ourselves from the physical reality to remain in our bubbles that we've chosen for ourselves. That is my special religious bubble. And you sit there in your bubble with everybody else doing your thing, mentally masturbating yourself into this experience of, I feel so good about myself. If you observe any religion or any spiritual experience, it is all about you mentally masturbating with yourself. You going into your mind and out, in, out. Ooh, look at me. And as Jack explained, inside that mind thing that you're participating with, yes, that is nice, yes. While you're in there, you are busy connecting with your guide, and your guide is telling you these beautiful things. So that's, as Jack explained, this whole intercourse, like hitting the G-spot, boy. He's telling you all these amazing things, and you're like, yes, tell me more. Hell yeah. And then you have your, yes, tell me, and your guide goes, you are an ascended master here on earth. And you go, oh, I knew it. Or, you're actually an indigo child. Ah, yes, I knew that. In a way, I knew that. And we all do it in some way or another. For some it is alcohol. For some it is drugs. Every person has their place that they go into, their private space, where we want to escape from the world. And this is your bubble, and you either drink, or you consume drugs, or you meditate, or you pray, or you have your Bible classes. But this is your space where you just get to be in your mind, and you get to do what is necessary for you to have your nice feelings. But in the background, everything is carrying on. And therefore, the solution is not for us to hide within reality, within things that seem to be reality. Remember, a spiritualist and a white light worker and a religious person will always say to you that what we are doing is reality. I am participating in reality. It's not. You are participating in a picture presentation of reality in your mind. It's like these games that children like participating in that I've heard about, where they have these games that they go on to, and the game is completely set up like your hometown, and there's everything, and the kids go there, but they go as avatars and they participate. And then they become completely obsessed within this. They cannot function in the real world because they've learned that I want to be special, I want to be my avatar character, and then they go and participate as that. But suck them out of that, and they have no clue how to participate with other human beings, with other beings, how to live, how to participate, how to sort out this mess. Because in your avatar world, it's not a mess. Everything is clean and taken care of, and you just get to party. Spiritualists do, and the religious people do the exact same thing. You get to put on your special personality and go in there, and everything is clean and beautiful. And even spiritualists will comment on my videos and say, you don't know what you're talking about. I am participating in reality by sending love energy and cleaning the reality. No. What you are sending is exactly what Jack was referring to, the mental masturbation thing. You're generating an energetic experience within yourself, which represents your love feeling that you've programmed into yourself. The feeling of love comes up, and you then, remember I used to do this stuff myself, you project love into the world. The starving children in Somalia, I'm sending you love. That is not real. That is you playing with your own energy within your body. You're not actually impulsing energy out of your body into the universe, saving people, because if you were, first of all, we would see actual results in the world. We wouldn't have to speak about any day now. 2012, we're all going to vibrate to a higher consciousness and everybody's going to be fine. That's not going to happen, and I'm glad I'm doing this interview now. It's the 30th today, because in 2012, all the spiritualists and white lighters are all going to be here. Everybody who was supposed to ascend is still going to be here. Starvation is still going to exist. War is still going to exist. Rape, famine, abuse in all forms, abuse of the animal kingdom. Everything that exists is still going to exist. And the capitalist system, which is what is the driving force of everything that is busy happening, and that which exists within the human is the human mind, which is the driving force of everything, which is what capitalism profits from, the mind of man, our desires and our fears and, consumerism. That's still going to exist. So the wake-up call for humanity, I love those videos on YouTube where they go, this is a wake-up call to all light workers, come together. The wake-up call is, okay, we've now waited until 2012 to happen. Nothing's changing. And instead of making up the new excuse, like they did with the rapture that was supposed to happen, and it just didn't happen, and then they went, there was something out of alignment. No, we're going to have to do it all again, or some lame excuse that was used. It's the same thing's going to happen with 2012. They're going to come up with excuses because the spiritualists and the white light workers have to survive. So they have to live within a capitalist system where they sell themselves and their belief to others so that they can feed off the energy that they are getting from all the attention. They don't want to have to give up the great calling, which is to be a white light worker. So when 2012 comes and nobody's ascended, then it's going to be very interesting to see what the white light workers are all going to say about that. But the point is, let's all have a real wake-up call and go, okay, get out of the mind, remain here in the physical, and let's work with physical projects, physical things that are going to change the world system as it is. The system that you and I all participate in every day, that's what needs to be changed, not some energy transformation, shifting of the energies. That's not doing anything. Because while you are saying we are busy aligning consciousness, the system, the world systems are still continuing. And you're in your happy bubble, but there's millions of beings starving and millions of beings being abused within the system due to what is the stress around money, the stress around survival. All of that is still going on. So let us focus on changing the world system. Then everybody can live safely, effectively, with food, with housing, with education. All beings will be taken care of if we change the world system. It's not that difficult. It's not some outer seventh dimension reality, Asgard realm, which we have to access, and everything is already here. It's just that the system doesn't support everybody equally. It supports the elite, the concept of capitalism, and the concept of separation, so that we can participate in our minds and energy. I'm beautiful, I'm ugly, I'm good, I'm bad. If we can sort out the money system, if we can sort out the human mind as what we've created it, then we will all be able to live here effectively, and then we don't have to go into mind realities. I mean, if you watch these movies that they're making lately, or for a while now, where they have to plug into a mind thing, it's almost like the Matrix, where they have to go into this, and then they're in another reality, and that's beautiful. That's like, what do you call this thing? The Venus Project and Zeitgeist, these beautiful worlds. But unplug yourself, and you're back in this, what is this? Switch on the news, So let's stop beating around the bush and encouraging ourselves to go more and more into mind realities, and let's stay here and sort out this reality that we've already got. Thank you.